If you're like most people, then you probably wish you had more money. If you're like 90% of Americans, then you probably follow a similar life map. This usually runs something along the lines of getting up every morning, going to work, getting paid, buying stuff, rinsing and repeating over and over for years on end. Now you probably don't need me to tell you, but as you can clearly see, this is definitely not the way that you want to go if you want to obtain any substantial amount of wealth in your life. You see, the problem with this method is that you never actually build any amount of wealth. You just keep wasting your paycheck until the next one comes along and you do the same thing over and over again. Typically, this is done with electronics that they don't need, an excess amount of clothing, or an abnormal amount of food which they usually don't even eat. However, it really can be anything that you buy with your money that doesn't bring you money back in return. In this video, these things are going to be known as liabilities, or basically anything that loses you money rather than bringing money in. Now I'm sure at this point, many of you are asking the question, well, if that's not how you make money, then how do you? And the answer to that question is, instead of working for money, you have to make money work for you. You do this by developing streams of income that bring money into you, and these will be known as assets, or things that bring us money rather than take it away. Now I'm sure many of you are asking yourself the question, what possibly is there out there that could bring you in money rather than take it away? And the answer to that is, there are actually many examples and they're all around you. The most common ones are usually stocks and bonds, mutual funds, a savings account, owning rental properties, or a business. But it is important to note that there are many different assets and you just want to find the best one that suits you personally. Now, something important to remember when investing in your assets is that you should always pay yourself first before paying other people. And what I mean by this is that you should always make it your main priority to invest in whatever your assets are before paying any expenses or anything else. Now, this does not necessarily mean that you should skip out on all your taxes and expenses just to pay yourself first. That is not at all what I am saying. But rather, what I am saying is that you should make it your first and foremost priority to invest in these assets before anything else. So, in other words, picture a magic box where you put in $10 and after a time period, you get $11 back. Now that $11 on its own may not seem like much, but when you keep doing this over and over again for years on end, that adds up quickly, and it is a surefire way to become wealthy. Now, just simply acquiring wealth is not the only part of it. See, many people that do end up acquiring wealth are not financially literate, so they end up losing a majority of it, if not all of it, and become bankrupt. Now, the way that you can fix this when you finally acquire your wealth is by becoming financially literate yourself. And you can do this in various ways, but the easiest and most common way is by simply reading a book on financial literacy. Acquiring wealth through assets is something that is very real and something that many people are pursuing as we speak. So the next time you are paid, think of how you could spend it differently.